we tend to police differently in different communities. And there is a former LAPD officer on here who may have worked more than one division. And if so, you know what I mean. When I worked in Watts, we would police one way depending on who we dealt with, because most of the people that you deal with as a police officer in that environment, and it's a high operational tempo, so you're actually handling a lot of calls. You're not necessarily doing a lot of traffic and pulling people over for a traffic infraction. That's kind of it's kind of a probable cause to get to bigger things, right? So you deal with a higher percentage of the criminal element there, and you begin to look at things a certain way. And there's a lot of people in the criminal element, because they're sociopaths, who don't appreciate an approach of sir this, ma'am that. They look at that as weakness. So some police officers who feel the need to bolster their, I don't want to say confidence, but their posture, will kind of give a little bit of that back to people when they really shouldn't. When you stop somebody, you should talk to the professor that you stop over in Westwood, coming out of UCLA. You should talk to that person the same way that you talk to the guy in the lowrider on Imperial and Central when you pull him over. At least you should start there, right? And we don't often do that. And I think that speaks to that lack of respect. But that lack of respect as a defense mechanism is really what it is. And you know, we always taught our officers, not that all of them listen, but we taught them that everybody starts off with 100 points. Okay, and you can either add to that or take away from that depending on what you do when we contact you. But everybody's supposed to start off with 100 points, and that doesn't always happen.
Thank you for sharing that, George, because we've had officers over the past several years say that we treat everybody the same, and when a lot of people hear that, they roll their eyes.
Yeah, well, it may be that those officers don't have the breadth of experience. I just have policed different parts of this city, and I did it for a long time, and I know. And those officers tell you that they police in Watts the same way they police in West LA, and I won't even say Beverly Hills. Everybody likes to say Beverly Hills. Entirely different police department. So I don't like to even bring them in the mix. But I will even tell you that even in that city, Beverly Hills doesn't treat everybody the same way. They just don't. If you're a resident, you get treated one way. If you're passing through going east and they stop you, you get treated another way. That's just how it is.
So if how do they know I'm just passing through? What I look like or the car I'm driving?
That was my experience as a kid, you know, growing up in LA and transiting from LA into Westwood every Friday and Saturday like we used to do back then. We knew not to take Wilshire and you didn't take Olympic because you're going to get jammed up by Beverly Hills if there was 3 or 4 young black kids in a car passing through. And it didn't matter if I was in my college professor mother's brand new Mercedes or not. If it was 3 or 4 black kids passing through Beverly Hills, we were going to get jammed up. But that was a long time ago, you know. But I also know that politically, if you're not part of that city and you look like you are not part of a certain demographic, you're going to get talked to differently. Campus police will tell you the same thing. Certain people get priority that other people don't.